Welcome back to the L2 Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Fernandez. And today we're going to explore the idea of working on big goals and big ideas and how it can be easier and more inspiring than working on smaller ones. I know we've been brainwashed or just trained to think small and work on small projects, small businesses, keep things tight and small. And a lot of us think that that's what's going to make us our lives easier. And over time, we find that that's not true. It is not. We're more stressed. We're struggling. And so, how can thinking big and setting bigger goals work in our favor? Right? We're going to discuss why it's essential to think big, the benefits of those big goals, and how you can keep yourself motivated to achieve them. So, I want to start by sharing a quick story. Right, yesterday I was having a conversation with someone, and this is what inspired me to have this conversation with you this morning, this afternoon, this evening, whenever you're watching this. Right, but I was talking to this person. They were sharing about what they're working on, what they're doing, and one of the things that they're working on is they are raising $100 million, $100 million to support different organizations, different charities, and things like that. And so when this person shared this, it caught my attention. Why? Because it's an uncommon thing. It's not very normal. It's not what the average person does to get out and try to raise $100 million. I see people that try to raise money and they say, you know what, I'm raising $2,500 for this, or $1,000 for this, or $10,000 for this. And there's nothing wrong with that. Every little bit helps. I understand. So my point is not, I'm not trying to put you down if you're raising a smaller amount of money. That's not what this is about. What I'm saying is that when we hear that somebody's doing something massive, it catches our attention more than if they were just doing something on a smaller scale, right? And so the idea that working on a bigger company, a bigger business, a bigger idea is going to be more stressful and more difficult, it's nothing more than idea, right? Whatever you believe is what you're going to prove. And so if you believe that working on a bigger idea is going to be more stressful for you and you're not going to be able to enjoy your life and have work-life balance, then that's what you're going to create in your life, and you're going to look for evidence that supports your belief. But if you are open-minded, which I encourage you to do, if you're open-minded, I just want you to truly consider this for a minute, how working on a big idea, on a big project is or can be easier than working on a smaller goal. And so why is that? Well, let me ask you this. When you set a goal, how inspired are you? How inspired are you? Right? And that's a trick question, right? Because it's like, well, it depends what type of goal. And that's exactly the point. At least in my personal experience, in my professional experience with myself and clients, when we set large goals, goals that are out of our reach, of things that we've never done before, that brings us alive. That gives us a new life, a new energy that we can use to stay motivated, to push through the hard times, because life is a roller coaster and there's going to be highs and there's going to be lows. And during those lows, we need something that's going to push us, or more importantly, pull us. And so that's what we need. We need an inspiring idea, an inspiring vision, inspiring goal that is going to pull us toward it when we're feeling down. And so from a motivation standpoint, working on something massive, a big goal, a big project, a big idea, it's way better than working on a smaller goal, because when you work on something small, you get up out of bed in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do this or that. You're not inspired. You're not motivated. And when people ask you, hey, what are you working on? You're like, oh, I'm working on this and this. And there's no inspiration. There's no motivation. And so are those people going to be inspired to join you on that vision, on that idea, on that goal? No. Are they going to be inspired to help you? Probably not, right? Your inspiration, your energy, your vision is going to be reflected back to you from people, right? Your environment is nothing but a looking glass. Your environment is nothing more than a reflection of yourself, what's going on within you. So if your energy is low, your vision is low, the ideas that are going through your mind are small, that's what's going to be reflected around you in the way that people talk to you, the way that people treat you, the way that people respond to your request, and all of that. So leaders, people who have higher standards than anybody else and see things as they can be, not only as they are, and they can see the highest possible good for others, they have these big visions and they're inspired. Therefore, they transfer that energy to others. And so when somebody shares a big idea, like I'm raising $100 million, immediately gets you to be, wow, like, how can I be a part of that? That's a massive undertaking, but it's going to make a massive difference on the planet. And so how can I be a part of that, right? If you are building a tiny business, you're probably not going to attract the top tier workforce that you need if you were wanting to grow a big company, right? So again, is it going to be easier to build a business by having resources and having the really smart, qualified people helping you, or is it easier to do it by yourself? Of course, it's not easier to do it by yourself. We don't know everything. There is what we know, there's what we know we don't know, and there's what we don't know, which is a massive amount, right? I know this much about business. I stay in my space. There is so much. Even if I say, you know what, I've been in business for 12 years, over a decade. I've been pretty successful. I've done great with marketing, sales, all of that, branding. It's not a huge amount when you consider all the things that go into building a massive empire, massive corporation. And so in order to work on a big idea, you need to attract amazing people, an amazing team, people that buy into that idea, into that vision. So that's the second point as to why it's easier to work on a bigger idea than a smaller idea. Number one was to stay motivated, stay inspired, stay energized. Number two is because when you have a big idea, you're going to attract the right people that are going to support you on your journey, whether that's people that just want to support you as peers, friends, accountability partners, or whether that's people that want to enroll in your vision, actually like work in the organization or collaborate with the organization, promote it, whatever it is, right? So you have to absolutely fall in love with a big idea. Think big. Again, it takes as much energy to spend 50 hours working in a business that is not going to do much than it takes to spend those same hours working on a bigger idea. You're going to invest the time and the energy anyway, so why not get rewarded for it? That's truly what I want you to think about today. Now when you think about a big idea, you might have some limiting beliefs that are preventing you from tapping into your full potential to reach toward that big idea. And that's normal. That's common for all of us. We all have that, inner voice that says some negative things when we're trying to reach for something that we've never reached before. And so it's important that you override that limiting belief and you open up your mind to possibilities. Instead of listening to that little voice say, well, what if you fail? You got to take charge and respond. What if I win? What if I'm able to make this work? What if I become massively successful? What if I'm able to impact my life and the life of everybody around me in a positive way because I went after this? Use the what if in a positive way instead of the what if in a negative way, like most people do. That's why most people are stuck. Think, what if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if I get criticized? What if I look ridiculous doing that? What if I go broke? What if, all negative stuff. And the more we focus on the negative, the more negative questions are going to keep popping up, and the more we're going to get the people around us to reflect that back to us. And so then we're going to be attracting people that are on that same frequency, and they're going to validate that for you. They're going to keep saying things like, that's not a good idea. You probably shouldn't go after that. You got a safe job, or your business is doing pretty well. Why are you going to try to take so many risks to continue growing it so much? Like, you'll have people saying that if you're not saying that to yourself already. So you have to not only battle what's going on in your mind, you're going to have to battle what is being reflected back to you from those people around you that you've attracted based on the current frequency that you're on. Right. And so once you're able to get rid of those limiting beliefs and you get yourself to a higher vibration, to a higher energy, to a higher frequency, you're going to attract people that are going to support you at a higher level. But you have to fight to get there, because the people that are currently in your life, they're aligned with the current version of you. And so when you decide to change, when you embrace a big idea for the first time, those around you are going to be like, well, what's going on with him? What's going on with her? What are they thinking? Like, why are they suddenly making all these changes? Why, like, who do they think they are? What do they think they can, why do they think they can do that? And so those are not the right people to entertain. Those are not the right people to keep around. So you have to battle that so that you can get yourself to that higher frequency where there's positive energy, where there's support, encouragement, people pushing you to be the best version of yourself. That's where you need to get to. And it's an uphill battle to get there, but it is possible. I know it. I've lived it. And so embrace that big idea so that you can be motivated, so that you can attract other people, overcome these limiting beliefs, and think about the ripple effect that you're going to have in the lives of those around you. And by you being a positive force and inspiration to those around you, what impact are they then going to have in the lives of others? That's how the ripple effect works, right? So starts with you. Be the change you want to see in the world, right? Be the change. Do embody what you want to see in the world. You want to see more inspiration, more positivity, more encouragement. Embody that. Be an example, lead by example, so that those around you are inspired by you and you can move on to continue impacting people all over the world. So, my challenge to you is to start thinking bigger. Think about, how can I take my business from a level 2 or level 3 or level 5 to a level 100? How can I 10x it? If you're married, how can I take my marriage from a level 2, level 3, level 4 to a level 10, level 100, right? However you're ranking it, right? By a scale from 1 to 10, if you're at a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you're just content. You've been doing the marriage thing for many years, and you just, you're good roommates, you hang out, whatnot, but there's no spark, no passion, no energy. Like, how can you get it to a 10? Embrace that big idea, and don't look for what other people are doing, because, again, average is not exceptional. That's why it's called average, and average means that's what the majority of people do. So don't look around for that. Create a new picture. Like, if you were to create the perfect relationship in your marriage, what would you do on a daily basis? How would you treat each other when you first wake up? How would you treat each other throughout the day? What do you do together on a weekly basis? How do you communicate with each other? How do you treat each other? What do you do, before bed? Like, do you ever go to bed angry? Do you tell each other that you love each other every night? Like, what do you like? Create a picture of what a level 10 marriage will look like, and embrace that idea and work and go after it. And go after it. Do the same in the relationship with your kids. If you have kids, what does a level 10 life with my kids look like? Embrace a big idea, fall in love with that idea, and that's going to raise your vibration, your frequency, your energy, and you're going to become a whole new person. You're going to attract the resources, the people, the things that you need in order to create that, to take that picture and turn it into reality. So embrace the power of big goals, of big ideas. And I know that for sure you're going to have a much more fulfilling and successful life. So remember this: when we aim high, we unlock our true potential, inspire others, and create a lasting impact. So dare to dream big and take action today. Thank you for tuning into the L2 Mindset podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Until next time, keep chasing those big goals and making a difference. Have a